One.
Uh, we are very happy today to stay here during this Indian reflexology and magnetotherapy classes with Dr. Ravi. Thank you very much.
Pleasure is all mine.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
And today we are introducing a new equipment to sports scientists and doctors that or rehabilitators that want to introduce a little equipment during their recovery training session. And I think because I took classes here and with Dr. Ravi and his wife, he's a yoga instructor, and we really discussed about how to introduce the Uramat during the week plan training session. So my first question is how can this little equipment help to the doctors, to the physiotherapists, or like me, I'm a sports scientist, to work during the training session?
Hello, Simone. At first, I should appreciate your skills and your quest to get this knowledge of Ayuramed and the reflexology system. You are working for really such a wonderful means to help the mankind and to help the people who actually needs such help. Because a lot of sportsmen, a lot of people who are working very hard, a lot of people who are going to offices, they need something which is really unique to help them and which can help them in curing several problems without going to the clinics, without taking so much of medication. So Ayuramed here is the best solution for all these problems, for all these such problems. As this is the instrument which is based on very ancient Indian techniques. For example, if I explain you, in the ancient times when people, they were not indulged in so much technical works, like they were not doing so many computer works, they were not doing the office works, they were doing more physical works. They used to work in the farms, they used to work on the roads, they sometimes for their work they have to walk a lot. In the farms, the farmers, they have to work with their bare feet. Even with our kids, we were not that much conscious those days. Because that time the kids, they were easily playing in the streets, they were roaming around in the fields with bare feet. It was not like today that every time we insist them to have shoes put on. In rooms we say, okay, in house we use bathroom slippers, bedroom slippers, all kind of slippers. So basically when we wear the shoes for the maximum time, we disconnect ourselves from the ground. And the ground is giving us the free magnetic force. So all these techniques, by keeping in our mind, we discovered this instrument, wonder instrument, which we call Ayuramed. Here, the people who are doing more and more sports work, like you asked in your question, the specific sports people. So sports people, they have to work a lot in the fields and they have to do the same physical work, which I am talking about the ancient time, our ancestors, they were generally doing. It is involving their entire body. So during that workout, sometimes they get some pain, some sprain, some muscle pulls, all these kind of small problems. So this Ayuramed is directly dealing with the law of circulation, because acupressure, reflexology and magnetism, this all works on the law of circulation. And law of circulation is the only law which is maintaining the entire body. For example, in the body, the blood flow is moving from the tip to toe. The last root, like the last end of the top of the head, is the root of your hair. So in the root of your hair, there is a blood supply. In the root of your toenail, there is a blood supply. So I can say the blood supply is all around the body. And in the blood supply, there are the toxins, they got deposited in many forms, like uric acid, some other kind of toxins, some toxics. So all those toxins, they roam around the body. And when, like a sports person, if he is doing some sport and during that he feels some kind of heel pain, he feels some kind of elbow pain, some kind of knee pain, or it can be any part of the body, maybe shoulder, neck, anywhere. So sometimes what happens, these toxins, they are traveling in the body and they got stuck at some joints, some points. So now what does the Ayuramed will play? What role of this mat is in that case is when they start walking on the mat in a prescribed way. There is a particular way to walk on the mat. It is usually like if they walk on the mat for 2 or 3 minutes, like a stepping, like in military our soldiers, they do stepping like this on the mats, on the grounds. So you can do the same kind of soldier walk like this on the Ayura mat. Then what will happen? It will increase the blood flow. It will increase the circulation from the bottom of your feet. So when the circulation is increased, whatever the toxins are there in the path of the circulation, if a player is complaining for the heel pain, for the knee joint pain, or for the pelvic pain, for the lower back pain, then according to reflexology, there is a toxin deposition, there is a crystallization in that particular part, particular area. So when you walk on the mat, the circulation get improved. Once the circulation get improved, the toxins, they get forced with the improved circulation. So with this force, they carried away with the circulation to the purification parts. There are certain body parts which do the purification of blood in the body. So they get to the purification part, those organs, they purify it, and during the purification process, the toxins, they being thrown out from the body in different forms, like sometimes it is perspiration, sometimes it is urine, sometimes it is stool. So in different forms, those toxins, they being thrown out from the body, and you feel immediate relief. Just for example, like for heel pain, there are thousands of patients have visited our centers complaining for the heel pain, and many times they were suggested for an operation. Sometimes they were being told that you have got fluoride deposition, you have got increased bone, and some other reasons like. But when they start walking on the mat, just after 2 days or after 3 days, their circulation get improved. That fluoride deposition or that excess calcium, it gets forced. It is as simple as, for example, you have a pipe. If it is blocked, you do nothing. You generate another force from another side. With the force, you clean it. So it is the same way. And this is the best instrument for your self-help, because it is not an easy task to visit for your each and every small problem every time to a reflexologist center or to consult with a doctor. Only when you feel something chronic, then you can actually visit in person. Otherwise, by doing on the mat, you get all the points pressed. Whatever point need treatment, they can be treated, and sometimes some points they get treatment, so you get cure for the future problems.
Okay. I spent some times here with your instructors, and they really talk about the URAMET during the warm-up session, especially because usually we introduce balance training or core training during our session to prevent injuries. What's your suggestion about to introduce URAMET during the prevention workout?
That's a great idea. Actually, many yoga trainers and the physical trainers, they have introduced this Ayura mat as a part of their physical training. They are adapting this instrument to generate more balance on the body. Here the logic is, when you are standing on a ground, on a very even ground, where you have no challenges under your soles, you become little bit careless. You cannot maintain that kind of balance that time. But when you feel or your mind feel some kind of pointed object like this Ayura mat under your sole, then your mind get more concentrated on that particular area. So you actually get commands from your mind to generate more balance, and your mind gets more concentrated to generate more balance here. Then you can make different movements. Like for example, with this Ayura mat, if a trainer is doing shoulder squat is something like this.
Okay, stop. Because if you put